Hi everyone, my name is Paul Boyden. I'm a clinical psychologist for the Brent CMAT Psychology Service. And today's video is about mindfulness for emotion. You may have seen on our YouTube channel we have a number of videos on mindfulness, including the how and what skills and the wise mind approach to mindfulness. And we also have some other videos on mindfulness for thoughts, mindfulness for senses, and a very brief video called the 3-minute breathing space. But today's video is looking specifically at how we can use mindfulness to help with regulating our emotions. Now, the thing about mindfulness is a lot of people say that they have had experiences where it just didn't work, or it's a skill that they just don't want to do, or they're not interested in it, or it's something that they just don't find that it's ever really helped them in the past. And I would suggest that maybe sometimes we need to let go of our past experiences of mindfulness and try experience new ways and find ways that you can be mindful differently, because there are other ways of doing mindfulness. There's a whole range of ways of doing it. So it's about finding what works for you. So today is a very brief video about emotion specifically, and the first thing we need to remember is that sometimes our mind is a little bit like an untrained puppy, as in our mind can be running around, racing around everywhere, and it needs some training. And so therefore we need to think a little bit about how we can calm the mind down and try a little bit more, be more present and here and now, and go towards our emotion rather than constantly trying to block them, run away or suppress them. So the first thing we want to do is that we need to remember that mindfulness of emotions is all about trying to treat your emotion as if it's a wave that's coming and going. So the first thing we have to do is just mindfully notice or observe our emotion. So as the emotion arises, try and notice whereabouts in the body that might be. So there may be some sensation somewhere in the body. It could be in your shoulders, it could be in your back, it could be in your gut. It could be anywhere in the body. So try and mindfully observe what's happening right now in the current moment in your body. You may be able to label that emotion. Don't worry too much if you can't. Do have a look at the list of emotions that exist out there on our channel and also on our other videos on the internet, of course. And try and see if you can describe or label this emotion. But what we're really interested in today is looking at what your experience of that emotion is. What do you notice when that happens? Now, it's very common at this stage you might try to label it or describe it or evaluate it or judge it or criticize that emotion in some way. And what we want to do is pause that and put that to one side and come back to just noticing the experience for what it is right here, right now. And remember, like I said, we don't want to block it, we don't want to suppress it, because a bit like a beach ball, the more we try and get rid of that emotion and we put it underwater, it kind of might help in the short term, but in the long term, it doesn't help us to work out what to do with those emotions or how to have a different experience with them in a different way. So try not to block the emotion, try not to suppress the emotion, try and allow them to be there. And one metaphor that's really useful for doing that is to think a little bit about going up towards a deer in the woods. So we're just going to be really curious. We're going to go up very gently toward that deer, and we're going to just try and see what we can see and be really curious about it. So don't hold on to the emotion. Don't try and amplify it. Don't try and block it. Don't try and get rid of it. Don't try and push it away. Try and allow it to be there. It is as it is. It will come and go of its own accord. So practice mindfulness of the body. So think about where the sensations are in the body. Try and experience those sensations as fully as you can, for as long as you possibly can. Because actually trying to do that will help you to learn that the emotion is here, it's okay, it's actually there to protect us. And try and sort of just be curious about what's going on for you right here and right now. Remember, you don't need to do anything. If you have an emotion, you don't need to act on your emotion. You are not your emotion. You are you, and you are someone that's having this emotion right here, right now. So just because you feel something doesn't mean that you've got to do something about it. It's probably easier to try and be mindful into it, experience the emotion before you do anything. So even if you're going to now do something that's more pleasurable, like a distress tolerance skill or something that will make the experience in the moment better, that's fantastic. But try and experience the emotion before you then go and do that. rather than doing something immediately. So remember, there are times where you have felt different. You may have felt different earlier this morning, last night, last week. You will go back to that experience. So do try and remember that. And lastly, practice trying to love your emotion. So respect it. It's a part of you. It's here to protect you. It's here for a reason. You are not the emotion. So try and practice loving it, making a relationship with it in a different way that you might not have tried before. And finally, don't judge it. Try and practice some willingness. So you might remember from other videos that we talk about willfulness and willingness. Willful is doing something where you make the situation work. Willingness is more about, I am willing to have this right here, right now. I will open up to the experience. I will try and sort of allow it to be here and try to sort of see what that would be like. So you're doing something different. And lastly, we talk about radical acceptance in DBT, which is where, without trying to sort of get rid or do anything where we just don't want something, we're going to try and allow it to be here, to accept it, to make room for it. It is as it is. You don't really have a choice in the matter. Your emotions here. Nobody's mental health problem is caused by having the wrong emotion. That really is impossible. It's what we do with our emotions in the first place. And sometimes, unfortunately, we can do things that keep the emotion either around for longer than they need to be, or we can intensify them, or we can learn that they're really, really bad and dangerous things. And the last time we had that emotion, something may have actually worked in the short term, but it could have been something that's really dangerous for us in the long term. So radical acceptance is really, really key here. And if you want to know more about radical acceptance, there is videos on that on our YouTube channel. And that's all for today. So please try and think a little bit about maybe dropping in on yourself, maybe 3 times a day, just really briefly, just for about 3 minutes, just to sort of say, how am I doing? How am I feeling? What is this emotion I've got right here, right now? Is it different throughout the day? Is it the same? Does something linger day around? Or actually, do we experience a range of emotions in one day? You know, you can be curious about where that emotion has come from, and that's another skill that we talk about in other videos about what is the cue for that emotion? What can we do? How can we problem solve it? But the thing is that sometimes we have to really be mindful of the emotions and allow it to be here before we can have any sort of chance of succeeding or living a life to the full. We need to do that to be able to be in touch with our emotions and to know that actually they're there to protect us, and it's okay and it's very normal to feel these emotions, but we need to change our relationship with them. And that's all for today, and I hope that's really, really useful. But any questions, then please comment on the video, or get in touch with a therapist, or ask friends, or read up on the internet, or look at our other videos. And I hope that's really useful for today. Thank you very much.